भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। Okay, so let me share my screen first before we start. You all can see my screen, right? Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so today we are going to see the introduction of Bhagavad Gita, the continuation of last week. Oh, 1 minute, sorry. So basically, from last week onwards, we are seeing the basics of Bhagavad Gita. So last week we saw about how many slokas in Bhagavad Gita and who spoke how much, where it was spoken, and all these things. Hope you are all clear on that. Any questions on last week's session?
No questions.
Okay. And also last week we saw who am I, right? So Shastra says Aham Brahmasmi, that is I am the spirit soul. That we saw examples also, and it is hope it is clear. Okay, so this week I added one small cartoon picture how the soul is situated. So if you see in this, the blue circle, it is the gross body, that is the body which we are seeing. Only this body we can see, which is made of Panjabhutas, 5 elements of the material nature, that is earth, water, fire, air and ether. This body is covered, the soul is covered with this body. First layer is this body, then inner layer is we have ego, then inside is mind, then again it is intelligence, then finally the soul is a minute particle. So anybody know what is the size of the soul? Anybody?
I think there is no size.
Yeah.
No, Shastra says soul is, there is a size.
Point of light. Yet very tiny
If
star.
you take the hair, if you take the tip of the hair and divided by and broken into 10,000 pieces, one piece is the size of the soul. We cannot even see the tip of the hair, right? And in Srimad Bhagavatam and in I think Vishnu Puran it is mentioned. Sorry, Brihadaranya Puran, Upanishad, it says it is one part of 10,000 pieces of the tip of the hair is the size of the soul. That is a so minute particle. We can argue how we can cut the so small like a tip of the hair into 1/10,000. That is the our eye capability is that much only. Our eyes capability cannot even see so many microns, right? Scientists identified there are so many small microns that is causing diseases and all, germs, worms, so many things. That in fact we cannot see our naked eye, but the material nature have that kind of particles. Same way, this eye have a certain vision capability. This eye can see that much only, but the real size is 1/10,000, one part of the 10,000 of the tip of the hair. That is the size of the soul. Okay. Any question? If not, move on.
No, sir.
Actually, in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, it is mainly telling about this soul and explain very detailed. There are so many slokas, and it is saying, all the slokas Krishna is saying, this soul, you are not this body, you are the soul, and this soul, there is no birth or death, just simply moving from one body to other. As in the sloka, Bhagavad Gita sloka 2nd chapter 13, it is mentioned that dehinosmin yada dehe kaumaram yavanam jara tada dehandara praptir dhiras tatrana muhyadi. That is, you see our body changes from childhood to youth to old age, right? Same way, after this, if the soul thinks that this body cannot use anymore, or the soul cannot stay in this body anymore, or this body is totally useless, then the soul moves to another body in such a way, same as when we think when we see our clothes, some of our clothes old or torn, we say this cloth we cannot use, and we throw the cloths, right? The same way, the soul also throw out this body, that is called death, and soul moves to another body. This is what Shastras says. And soul, there are many other slokas. I can go through few. This is the 213 we saw first. Then 220, Najayade Mriyade Vakadachin Nayam Bhutva Bhavida Vanabhya. This is saying the soul, there is no birth, death. And the next is Vasamsi Jirnani, as I just mentioned. As a person put a new garment, give up the old one. Similarly, the soul accepts the new material body, right? And the next, a few other slokas also. Nainam Chindandi Shastrani, Nainam Dahadi Pavagha. The soul never be cut into pieces. That means the soul, there is no damage. Nobody can make damage to the soul. Okay. And the last one is Krishna. This is few slokas I have taken. Dehi Nityam Avadyoyam. There is the something which is dwelling inside the body or living inside the body is eternal, can never be slain. That's what all these slokas says. So any questions here? So as we saw last week example, after deaths, people say that so and so person passes away, right? We saw that, and we can see actually there is a sad demise of our CDS, General Bipin Rawat, right? So that is really sad for everyone. But at the same time, after his death, when he went by the name of General, and after the accident or after the crash, now when what they take back, mortal remains of General. This is the statement. I hope you are all watching the news. Actually, today the cremations are going on. So once the soul left the body, it becomes mortal remains. Right? So whatever decorations what we are doing today for this body, saying that decoration means I want to be strong, I am healthy, I am happy, I nobody can beat me, nobody can beat me in knowledge, nobody can beat me in strength, nobody can beat me in money, all these things until the soul lives in the body. And nobody knows that when the soul is going to leave this body. That's what Krishna mentioned in another sloka. This material nature or this world is dukkhalayam ashashvatam, means this is temporary and full of miseries. That's what Krishna says in another sloka. Okay, so from this we understood, or we can clearly understood that the soul is, we are soul, we are not this body. Okay, so that's what we saw last week. Okay, so there are 5 questions as I mentioned last week. Who am I? Who is Bhagavan? What is the relationship between me and God? How to approach Bhagavan? What is the goal of human life? These are all the 5 things. One, Bhagavad Gita is explained for a soul takes as a human body. Sorry, any questions? Okay, so according to Bhagavad Gita, let us see what it is saying, or what Krishna is saying. I am not taking all the slokas, very few slokas from the Shastras. Who is Bhagavan? Actually, Bhagavad Gita, there are so many slokas Krishna himself is telling, and also Arjuna finally confirmed that too. In the chapter 10, sloka 8, Krishna is saying, Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartade idi matva bhajademam bodhabhava samanvida. I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly know this engage in my devotional service and worship in me with all their hearts. Then in again 39, the same chapter, Ecchabi sarva bodhanam bijam tat aham arjuna na tat asti vinayatyam maya bodham characharam. O Arjuna, I am the generating seed of all existence. There is no being moving or unmoving that can exist without me. Same goes to in the 9th chapter 17 also, Pidahamasya jagado madada pidamaha, that is, I am the father of the universe, the mother and the support of the grandshare. And finally, what I took the slokas, Krishna telling in 14th chapter, 4th sloka, Sarvayonishu kaundeya murteya sambhavandiya tasham brahma mahad yonir aham bija pradapita. It should be understood that all species of life, O son of Kundi, are made possible by birth in this material nature, and I am the seed-giving father. Krishna is clearly explaining, Aham bija pita pradapita. I am the seed-giving father. That is confirmed in so many other slokas also. In Brahma Samhita, Lord Brahma is saying, Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarvagarana Karanam. Like this it is going on. So many slokas we can take, but if we learn Bhagavad Gita, then we can understand clearly. Okay, so I will keep it like this because there are so many other things we have to see today, and I am not sure with another 35 minutes I can finish it off or not. Let's see how much we can see. And anybody have any questions so far? Any clarifications?
Sir, you can take enough time. No worry, no hurry today. Today
Okay.
is children is not there, so no worry. You share with us.
So if it is something we cannot finish it off, can we take it to the next week or?
Okay, but I don't know then how many will join. But Shika is with us. I am also there, but I don't know about others.
Okay.
It's okay, then we will continue.
Okay.
No worry.
By the way, I have a humble request, Mataji. Please don't call me sir.
Oh, sorry. Again, that is my habit. Okay,
That
brother.
is my humble request because I tell you the reasons and also.
No problem, but this is in my mouth because
Yeah,
of office, no?
because
No
I am
problem.
not at all qualified for that word.
My
Right?
brother, yeah. Thank
That
you.
is the
My
first
divine
reason.
brother, yeah.
Second reason I tell you, if many people call me, I may get ego. So I should not get that.
Okay.
Okay, so please, I humbly request you.
Yeah.
Thank you,
You
Mataji.
are our brother. Thank you. Divine brother.
You can call me Baya.
Yeah. Bayaji. Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on. So now let's see what is the relationship between me and God. This also I am not touching much, just to give a simple slokas only. Later I will explain clearly with some of the other details, which is very, very important. Definitely we will go to see all these things in the last session clearly. Okay, so in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is telling in the 15th chapter, 7th sloka, Mamaivamso jiva loge jiva bhuda sanadana manashastani indriyani pragadistani karshati. Krishna is telling that the living entities in this conditioned world are my eternal fragmental parts. Due to conditioned life, they are struggling very hard with the six senses, which include mind. That is, Krishna is saying all the living entities are fragmental parts of the Supreme Lord, or we are the soul, Anu, and Supreme is the Vibhu, or the Paramatma. We are the Atma, and we all get energy, or we all come out from the part of the Supreme Soul. Okay, and in the 8th sloka, the same chapter, Krishna is again telling Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishto matta smritir jnanam abohanam cha vedaischa sarvair ahameva vedyo vedandakrit vedavid eva chaham. I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me remembrance, knowledge and forgetful you all get. That's what Krishna is saying. So Krishna is saying as in another sloka also is saying that Sarvayonishu Gaundeya Murteya Sambhavan. Oh, sorry, this is I am seated in, this is same sloka again. I am the seed giving father. That is part and parcel, we can say. We are the God, Supreme Lord is the Father, and we are the part and parcel of the God. That's what here. Definitely after this complete session finish, you will be very clearly knowing all these things. So that's the reason I am not touching much. Okay. So actually this is some of the examples. Even in the bird creature also the Supreme Lord is there. That is not only for human being, and also this is all that just and I want to show you, that's all. Okay, now we go to our session. So on the first three portions, is it everything clear?
Yes.
Okay, so there are three things. Whenever we took a book, if we find a new book, what we see, there are three things a reader will see. One is Sambandha. Sambandha means you can say different meanings in English. It's a relationship or knowledge or what information is in this book for me. Okay, So we will go to accordingly. There are three things we will go: Sambandha, Abhideya. Abhideya, I don't know, it's a Sanskrit word, and also Hindi, you all know the meaning. The process of the information which is there. What is the process to approach that information? Approach the key message of that book. Then finally, Prayojana. What is the use of me to read this book? These three things. Okay, so let's talk with the Sambandha first, relationship. So first, relation. There are actually, Krishna in Bhagavad Gita saying there are 5 things, 5 key roles, or 5 key factors, I can say, or five what I can say, five things. I will find out the word for you later. One is Ishvara, that's what I mentioned earlier. Then Jiva, individual soul, and what is the relation? As I mentioned, this is the same thing. So all the living entities are my fragmental parts due to conditioned life. So the living entities are the part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, right? And then, oh sorry, it is going on wrong place. Okay, okay, so that is the relationship between Ishvara. Ishvara means the Supreme Lord Bhagavan. So that is the information very clearly mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita. And Jiva means individual soul. This is what is the relation between the soul and the Supreme Soul. That is Ishvara and Jiva. Then another thing it teaches is there are 3 teachers there. See, for example, the Jiva has to do some certain activities. That the Jiva take birth in this world, or the soul take birth in this world for certain purpose, and there is a aim or goal for this Jiva. The Jiva has to follow certain rules and regulations, and if the soul didn't follow the rules and certain rules and regulations, for example, in the prison, right, there are so many inmates in the prison. If the inmates didn't follow the rules and regulations strictly, then the jailer will punish them, correct? Or in the school also, if the students are not obedient, the teacher may punish, right? Same way, this material world also, there are 3 teachers, that is nature, Prakriti, Kala, time, and Karma, that is reaction. So these teachers will be teaching us heavily if the inmates of this material world, that is the individual soul, didn't follow the proper procedures or proper rules and regulations. Prakriti, and I don't know, I am not sure whether I need to explain it or not. You can see the COVID, or you can see the material, our environmental changes. Right?
Story.
Any questions? Sorry.
Dear story. Please forgive me. I love you.
Okay, so you can see a simple virus.
Sorry.
You can see that can make the whole world locked down. That is the nature.
I'm sorry. Please forgive me.
And there are so many natural disasters there.
Dear man, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. Dear mother, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you.
Sir, disturbance is there, cannot hear you properly.
Yeah, I mute already, Mataji. Sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, Prakriti, nature, if we go against nature, nature will teach us, like natural disasters. There are three kinds of natural calamities, we can say: Adi Daivik, Adi Baudik, and Adi Adhyatmik. The disasters caused by our own body, that is sickness. The disasters caused by our colleagues, or the what I mean colleagues is other creatures in this world. For example, mosquito bite, or some snake bite, or some other animals, or some other friends making us problem. That is the second thing. And third is natural calamities, right? Natural calamities, like these are all the three ways the human being can be, or the soul or jiva can be disturbed, right? That is the Prakriti, nature. Kala, time. So time, every second counts. From the day we take births, from the minute we take birth, every day goes, every sunset, we lose 1 day of our life, right? That is time. Time is very, 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 very critical. We have to utilize the time for the right cause, but unfortunately today we don't know what is the right cause, right? Then finally, karma. Karma, already, I talked last week. Every action what we do, the reaction we get, that is karma. So in this Bhagavad Gita, there are 5 things which we should know. 5 characters we should know: who is Bhagavan, who is soul, and who are all the teachers. And finally, this is the first message, it is here: sambandha, or relationships. Is it clear? Any questions in this sambandha?
Sambandha is, sir, the relation between the cause and effect, right?
We can use it, or some relation between the karma and us.
Okay.
Right? So, for example, if we do some action, as Krishna mentioned in some other slokas, everything we do have reaction, except devotional service. If we do, say for example, if I donate 100 baht to somebody, I have to take birth again for that person to give me 100 baht, if it is not a devotional service. For example, another example I can say, devotional service. If I give holy name, something, one Bhagavad Gita to somebody, that makes into our account, but that account goes to our spiritual bank balance. There are 2 bank balances for every soul. One is spiritual bank balance. Spiritual bank balance means which don't need to take any birth to for that reaction. That is the spiritual bank balance. Material bank balance means we must, whatever we do, we must take births. So every action we do without the devotional service, we will take births as next to fructify the reaction of the karma, reaction of the action. So Newton's law or cause and effect says the ball comes back. That is not the ball only come back. Every action we do also have the same. Is it clear, Mataji? So that is the reason we have to increase our spiritual bank balance, not the material bank balance. Sorry, I am not talking about our local banks balances and all. I am talking our actions or karma we are earning. Okay, so we must, all the shastras, only the Sanatana Dharma teaches how to earn spiritual bank balance. And as whatever all spiritual bank balance, see, for example, I will tell you one more thing. Today you are five or six persons in the call. That is because of some balance, spiritual bank balance you did in the previous life. Actually, there are 9 processes of Bhakti Yoga. Out of that, there is devotional service. Out of that, Sravanam is the first one. So for hearing about the Krishna Kada or the Sanatana Dharma Vedic knowledges, you must need a spiritual bank balance. Otherwise, it is not possible. That is the reason in Bangkok, if you see, there are thousands of Indians, but only 5 are joining here. Why? You have some spiritual bank balance. And because of today you join, your bank balance will add and it will make more better life in the next future, more and more and grow further. Unless one earns the spiritual bank balance, one cannot start the devotional activity. So this hearing is the first step of devotional service or Bhakti Yoga. Actually, Prahlad Maharaj says in Srimad Bhagavatam, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, like that, there are 9 processes. Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Atmanivedanam, Sakhyam, like that. Okay? So I will explain all these things later. So, is it clear? If you are clear, I can go to the next one. Any questions?
Yes, sir, very clear. Beautifully you explained, Hana, about the bank account. I didn't know that, that there are like 2 types of accounts. This whatever you explain is very good. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. But Mataji, I am begging you, Mataji, please don't call me sir.
Yes. Bhaiya, it's very nice. Thank you.
Yes. I am not at all qualified for that. I don't know anything. These are all I copy. Okay. So the next is the processes. Abhideya, or we can say skills. How to. So here is the yoga ladder. You know, right? We have so many yoga practices, correct? You are all here. Basically, I think we hear the Ashtanga Yoga. That is the yoga today. I can quote from the Shastras saying that today the material world is so much degraded that people thinking that the exercises what we do is really the yoga. Yes, of course, that is the yoga. That is the first step of the yoga. Ashtanga Yoga, there are 8 steps. And whatever the physical body, to make the body fit to sit for long time meditation. So, sorry, I am not touching this one. I will touch this one little bit. But before that, I want to tell. See, for example, the samadhi is the last stage of Ashtanga Yoga. To sit in a samadhi, first of all, we need to practice. Can I ask you, how many of you sit in a posture for more than 5 minutes? Or sit in a same position without shaking our body for more than 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, one day?
I can sit 1 hour.
One day?
One day, no, I will
Not.
take some.
So Shastra says our acharyas do tapasya for thousands of years. Right? For that, reach the samadhi stage. I will later, maybe if I have time in some other days, I can explain you one by one reaching the samadhi stage. And starts the first process is yoga that maybe Sujata Mataji is doing. The physical preparation of the body. Make the body fit to go further improvement in the yoga. That is, for example, we need to sit, meditate, right? Then go further with a deep concentration, then forget ourselves at a full, that is a samadhi. There is 8 steps, I will go through that. So please don't mix that yoga into here. Whatever yoga we are doing, Ashtanga Yoga, that and the physical practices which we are doing is the first step. Okay? So in here, Krishna is saying yoga, practices of yoga. And this is the yoga ladder. Okay? The yoga ladder. So I will start with the bottommost blue box. That is the first is the so we have all consciousness, right? That's the reason we are all living. Otherwise, if we don't have consciousness, we will be called dead. So consciousness is our living force. Okay? Consciousness makes us live. Because this consciousness we have, we are living. So there are two, there are two consciousness. Actually, the plants and below, they don't have much consciousness. There are certain shastras. There are shastras explain. Each celled animals have its own number of consciousness or number of activities do. So animals' consciousness is almost equivalent to the human being. So the Shastras take animal consciousness as the basic step. Activities that an animal do is the basic step for the human being to grow. So in the animal consciousness or in the animal body, an animal can do 4 things: eating, mating, defending, and sleeping. Right? You all agree an animal is doing?
Yeah.
Eating, mating, defending, and sleeping are the 4 material activities. Animals can do only material things. Right? That is the basic step of consciousness. And Shastras take that as a baseline. Animal consciousness as the baseline. That is the worst than the human being. See, normally we all talk about 6 senses. Right? We have, 6th sense. We have the intelligence. Right? That is the difference between animal and human being. Right? We have intelligence to think of which is good and which is bad. Animal don't have that. That intelligence or that power makes human different from animal. And that power makes human think of, design so many things and live sophisticated. But unfortunately, that intelligence was not utilizing in the proper way. That intelligence was given to the human being to understand what is the goal of life and work on that to achieve the goal of life. But unfortunately, today human beings are not using that intelligence for the right process. Okay. So by the way, 6:25 already. So how much time I can continue? Sujata Mataji.
Shikha, what do you think?
Another 10-15
Shikha?
minutes. And
Yeah, you can take. Shikha, are you there?
okay, I will go for another 5 minutes and I will 5-10 minutes and I will stop here. So basically that animal consciousness is the baseline and intelligence separate animal and human being. That intelligence must be used to understand the goal of life. What is the goal of life? I will go at the end of the session. Okay. Then human being starts from the karma. There are
Sir, sorry, I was not telling in between. Actually, my phone has some hanging problem. So you can continue, 10 minutes. Sorry, Sujata Bhavi, sorry, sir.
No worry, dear, I can understand. No worry.
okay. So there are 4 yoga ladders for human being. That is, first is karma yoga. That is according to Bhagavad Gita. I am talking according to Bhagavad Gita. So karma yoga, jnana yoga, dhyana yoga, and finally bhakti yoga. So this dhyana yoga covers ashtanga yoga, that is asanas, asana, pratyahar, pranaya, asana, pranayam, pratyahar. It goes like that, right? That is under the dhyana yoga. So karma yoga, jnana yoga, dhyana yoga, then finally bhakti yoga. This is the yoga ladder. Karma yoga means do activities in this material world for sense gratification. There is the person in the karma yoga is not at all using his intelligence. Actually, he knows little bit something about his goal, but he still don't know really what exactly he has to do. So he is doing his duties as cats and dogs, working very hard, going to like this. That is the karma yoga. Okay. Then the second step is jnana yoga. Jnana yoga means use mind and intelligence. Through intelligence, read books to understand the knowledge. That is jnana yoga. Then dhyana yoga. Dhyana yoga, as I mentioned, it is the ashtanga yoga practice and reach samadhi. Samadhi level is from there. If a person attains the samadhi level, he created a relationship with the Supreme Soul. That is the reason he can be samadhi. Okay. Or the Atma and Paramatma started communicating. So he shut down his external senses and sit only concentrating with the Paramatma. His activities are a person is in deep samadhi. What he is doing is he is communicating with the Paramatma. Thus Atma is communicating with the Paramatma, and all the other senses, the eye, nose, touch, the mouth, the eye, tongue, nose, ear, everything shuts, cannot work. or the person don't have that external consciousness. He is full of internal consciousness. That is samadhi. And once he started reaching the communication with the Paramatma, then he started knowing, understanding what is the goal of life, and then he finally reached the final step. Final step of loving devotional service. That is called Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga is the last step. One who knows who is he, the self. That is the last step of Bhakti, the yoga ladder. The whole aim of life is to achieve the Bhakti Yoga. Whole aim of the yoga practices is to achieve the samadhi, then have a connection with the Supreme Lord, then have a loving relationship with the devotional Supreme Lord. That is called devotional service. That is Bhakti Yoga. And in this yoga ladder, Karma Yoga starts some regulated life. Some regulated life means a person know I have to live in such and such way, right? So so that is the regulated life. Okay. Then animals also have some limited regulations. The animals cannot think much. But for example, if an animal is hungry, then only it eats. It won't munch the things when and where it needed. Do you agree? If an animal, if it is full, the stomach is full, the animal will not go to that place. Right? Same way,
Yes, sir.
sleeping. The animals, it sleeps only in the night, or it is tired whenever it is needed. Defending, animals defend only if there is a threat for the animal. Do you agree with me? And mating, there is a season for animals, not always. So animals have some regulation to do the material senses, material activities. Okay? But so the person from Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, slowly the regulations increase. When a person is in complete samadhi, he don't have any material feelings or thinkings. He don't need to eat, he don't need to sleep. That is the full regulation he is. He is in samadhi. But unfortunately, today the people in this material world are becoming worse than animals. That is called Homo sapiens. Today people, not everyone, but majority population of the world today are called Homo sapiens, or they are worse than the animals. I can tell you examples. Sorry, don't think that I am offending you all. No, this is the practice which I am saying. For example, sleeping. There is no time for sleeping. Shastra says we must wake up before sunrise. But today sleep, even I saw somebody sleeping till 10 o'clock, especially in Sundays. There is no timing for sleeping. Same goes to eating. Even munching. Whenever they get something, they munch, even it is not hungry. The children have a practice, or parents give children the crackers, the chocolates, all these things. They keep on sitting and munching. They read the book, and this hand goes, they read the book like this. Like this goes. This is the practice. Shastras doesn't allow all these things. And defending, this is worst part. today we are asking our children to play with the fighter games. They are fighting with an unknown enemy in the computer, sitting in the computer and telling, I will kill you, I will kill you, I will kill you, I will kill you. I'm not sure you agree with me or not. I can see so many the online games playing the kids. The person defending or trying to always play a game, I will kill you, I will make you fail, I want to succeed. What is the mentality of the children we are growing? Children are growing with a mentality that I want to kill, I want to kill, I want to kill. So how his future become? That is the worst part today. The whole world is ripening the fruit. Whole world is under chaos. Okay, and mating, I don't need to explain, and I don't want to touch that. There is no restrictions. You can see so many rape cases, right? So totally today the material world, whole world is without any regulation, are called Homo sapiens, and that is the reason whole world is under chaotic condition. Okay, this is the process. But one thing, Bhakti Yoga, there are two ways to achieve Bhakti Yoga. Sorry, give me another 2 minutes, I will stop here. There are two ways to achieve Bhakti Yoga. One is you go through all these ladders with your material work. You learn the Shastras, then do the Samadhi, then Bhakti. Or Krishna is telling, you can straight away do the devotional service. Manmana bhavavat bhakta mat yajimam namaskuru mam yevaisasi satyam de pradijane prayosime. Become my devotee. I will take care of you. I will give you whatever you lose. I will protect you whatever you have. Krishna is saying, no need to do anything. You don't sit in the asana. Don't sit in the, don't read any books. Do devotional service. Become my devotee. That you can read Bhagavad Gita, so many slokas very clearly. It will be, Krishna is saying, don't waste your time. You have only 100 years in Kali Yuga. You don't have thousands of years to do all these things. With this 100 years, you cannot read any of the Shastras. As I mentioned last class, there are 400,000 slokas in our Shastra to understand this knowledge. That is the reason Krishna sum up the confidential knowledge as a Bhagavad Gita and told the whole people in Kali Yuga that Bhakti Yoga, do Bhakti Yoga simply. I will protect you. I will take you after these births. Krishna is saying. So there are two processes. You have staircase to achieve the 50th floor of the building, whereas you have lift there. So normally I think people use the lift to go the 50th floor. Nobody will climb through the staircase, correct? But when it goes to Bhakti Yoga, people are trying to reach through the staircase. That is the reason today we are not able to reach. Because for 50 floors, I am talking 50 floors as just an example. For 50 floors, if you start climbing through the stair, after 1 or 2 stairs or maybe maximum 10 stairs, gone. We cannot go further. That's what happening today, especially the Hindu society. We forget the real knowledge. We have a nectar with us, but we forgot that nectar. We have a lift with us, but we are trying to do, I want to go through the staircase only. We are pushing ourselves. And that is the bad thing for Sanatana Dharma. Okay. So with that, I stop here. I will go to the next portion next day, or if you give me time, I will do. Otherwise, we can stop here. The important thing is the loving devotional service.
Time means today. Today
No,
more.
next week or something, anytime. Today I think
Okay,
it's late already.
let's. I will talk with parents. Then we can decide.
Yes, Mataji. So, any questions, comments, feedback?
No, nothing, sir. Very sorry, Bhaiya, very clear now. Sujata Bhabhi, if like sir will do next week, I will be in now. Include me there. I will be there.
Okay, dear.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, takeaway message here is, please remember two things. Always think of, do I need to take the lift or staircase? Okay, that is the important message. Please always remember. And another thing is, do we need to be wait until the remains of mortal, or in this life the consciousness we have, can we utilize this? These are the two things, key messages. Okay,
Thank you,
for
Bhaiya.
giving
Thank
me
you,
an
Sujata
opportunity.
Bhabhi.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Bhaiya ji. Thank you, Shika. Thank you
Thank
all.
you. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone.
Yes. Mataji, I
Bye.
will send you the recording later. Okay, Hare
Yeah.
Krishna.
Thank you.